Hello and welcome to the Front End Horse live stream where we learn from fantastic front end and creative developers. My name is Alex Trost. We've got a banger today. First off, it is Component Carousel. Today's show, every Wednesday, we do Component Carousel, and that is us learning from a creative developer and building out a component around a theme for the month. This month's theme is SpaceBnB. You've heard of Airbnb. Pretty cool, pretty successful here on Earth, but they've now expanded to space. So you can travel to anywhere. We're seeing the galaxy. We're renting a little 2-bedroom over on Venus. All that good stuff. So that is this month's theme, and that's pretty much what we give our developers. And we say, hey, this is the theme. Come up with something awesome and teach us some cool creative development. And we're just going to go for it. So we have Ryan LaBar here today. He is a fantastic creative developer from Elegant Seagulls, a really great agency. And he is going to be teaching us some fantastic GreenSock plugins. We got some Draggable. We've got some Draw SVG maybe. I don't know. I'm really excited to get into it. But just know that every Wednesday this month, today we have Ryan. Next week, I think next week is Lithia, who's going to make some fantastic shaders. And then the week after that is Luis Bizarro, who's going to come in with some awesome 3JS, just going to blow us away. We have 3 fantastic guests this month, so make sure you are following. Make sure you're here for all of those. But without further ado, I'm really excited to bring Ryan on. He's made something fantastic for us. So Ryan, welcome to Front End Horse. Welcome to Component Carousel. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah. So for the people out there, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Ryan LaBar. I work for an agency out of Marquette, Michigan called Elegant Seagulls. Yeah, really excited to be here. It was interesting that kind of put this together with the space theme in mind. So I took some heavy inspiration from some Star Trek user interfaces, and today just so happens to randomly be Star Trek Day.
Happy Star Trek Day. We got a lot of Trekkies in the audience. It's really why they came out, Ryan. They're not going to really know much about creative development or JavaScript, but lots of Trekkies out there. So if you could drop a little Klingon, maybe reference some of the the Next Generation stuff. A lot of Next Generation fans in the audience. See, they are there. So.
But yeah, I feel like they're always there.
Yeah, just like the odds of that are pretty spectacular. So I'm super excited to get into it. I might have had a sneak peek, and I might be pretty excited about what we're going to be moving towards. So first, I just want to kind of plug your agency, Elegant Seagulls. You've been making some fantastic stuff. I think when we started talking, you. Hey, Zane. You had just finished up a site build where you had some really cool knobs. Actually, what's the name of that site?
Yeah, it is Anderson Brothers. So it's AndersonSupply.com.
Cool. Yeah, so if you go to hire us, first off, the whole site's super cool, but I'm kind of skipping to the part that is going to kind of tie in to what we're going to be looking at today, Chad. So you created this really cool and like this is something that would stand out to me if I were trying to work with this company, in that it's not just like a simple like select or whatever, but it's this like volume. How would you describe it? Is it like an audio kind of
yeah
setup?
So they more or less like pretty much rock and roll audio kind of.
Yeah. And this is just so good. This entire section, like great from design to execution. Like I just love everything about it. And there's even a touch, chat. Look very closely. But when we scroll up and down, the knobs, like the gradient shifts as we scroll, not when we move the knobs. That's a detail that I was like, Ryan, you nailed it, because this knob the gradient wouldn't move because the lights aren't moving when I do this. But if my perspective is changing, then the little gradient's going to move. And I was just like, I've never seen anyone get that so right. So like, I was just like, the level of detail there was fantastic. But yeah, I loved this, and I'm like, you got to come on and teach us how to build really, really cool inputs like this. And so here you are. And real quick, Banana Stand, thank you so much for that sub. Can't thank you enough. Really, really appreciate it. That's super generous. So yeah, I saw this, loved it. So you are here, and we're going to be building something. Should we show the code pen, or is there anything else you want to get to?
No, I think diving right into it'll be the way to go here.
Awesome. All right, cool. So this is kind of like the setup that you sent over that doesn't have a whole lot of JavaScript in it just yet. We just have our GSAP register plugins, and it's styled, but not completely styled, right? We're still gonna be doing a bit of that still.
Yeah, yeah. So most of the layout that is there is done in SVG. You
Cool.
know, the dial is SVG, the two side borders are SVG.
Got it.
The bounce simulation is just divs, and then the 9.8 meters per second is HTML text. So,
Cool.
but really wanted to kind of talk about styling the range inputs. So kind of set up the overall layout. You know, just to get it to a point where it started kind of get through the
Yeah.
boring stuff and kind of get into the meat and potatoes on that.
That's perfect. So just super quick, just in case someone's not really sure what they're looking at, what's the concept here? Like the conceptual thing. I kind of explained the SpaceBnB theme. What's kind of the concept for this component, so people can kind of
Yeah,
envision
the
where we're
concept would
going.
be a gravity force preference selector. So if you were looking to stay in somewhere with higher gravity levels to maybe, you know, boost your strength or lower gravity levels to be able to sort of bounce like you're on the moon. Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind this. Thought it would be cool to put something together, you know, with yeah, you know, a similar style to the Anderson Brothers site.
Cool.
Uh, and yeah, you know, tie in the draggable knob to the range input to some just, you know, some uh, animations to sort of, you know, show what you're looking at as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So it's basically like, instead of choosing like what kind of weather you want, or like where do you want to be on a beach, like this is like, all right, so what kind of gravity do you want? Just like, it's perfect for this whole concept. So awesome. All right. So where do we want to start here?
Yeah, we'll start right in our CSS.
Cool.
If you can, yeah, collapse kind of everything else there.
Yeah.
And then we'll scroll down to, let's see, it'll be gravity range. So I've set that up in the HTML to be our range input.
Cool. So that's this
So
right here.
currently, we'll just kind of run through this quick. I've got that positioned absolute. I've
Okay.
got our color to be set to current color because inputs will kind of set their own color. So you have to have that inside there. Basic positioning, I've got the width set to 600 pixels, which happens to be the height of this particular element because we will be rotating it to set it up as vertical.
Ah,
There's some native compatibility with vertical range sliders. It is not browser cross-browser compatible though. It works in some browsers and not others.
got it.
It's
So this
kind
is
of
the way you
annoying to
do
do
it.
it that
Okay.
way. Yeah, so this is the sort of the cross-browser way to do it, you know, at
Got it.
least for
So
now.
we're gonna be turning this so that it's like right here.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. So we'll be turning that so it's right there. So let's see. We've got our height of 90 pixels. That'll give us a little bit of width essentially to add some style to. And then so we've got our cursor pointer because that isn't a default.
Mm.
And then our background color transparent. So we're going to set our transform origin to top left. And then we'll
No, we're good.
drop down and then we'll set our transform to rotate negative 90 degrees. And then translate X to negative 100%. And that'll rotate it up 90 degrees, and then it'll translate it 100% down to get it into our scene there.
So that was translate X what?
Translate X negative 100%.
Ah, got it. So that 100%, that refers to
The height of
itself.
itself. Yep.
Okay, cool. That works perfect.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
then, so now we'll get into the, uh, I guess, specific styling for this range input. So to inside of that, just below there, we'll put appearance none. So that'll kind of reset the defaults.
Interesting. Appearance not, huh.
Yep.
Not as familiar with
So
that
that'll
property.
take yeah, that'll take the basically the track off of there. And
Got
then
it.
we'll break into a new line, or we can nest it in this if we're running SAS, we can do that. So let's see, we can run an ampersand colon dash. This is going to be kind of a long one here. WebKit dash slider dash runnable runnable dash track.
Okay.
And then we'll put a comma there, and then ampersand colon WebKit slider dash thumb. So
Do
WebKit
we
dash
do
slider
another
dash
hyphen or
thumb.
just?
Yep, hyphen.
Okay.
And then we'll put WebKit appearance none in there as well. And that should make our little thumb
Is that
disappear as well.
WebKit?
Yeah, you can run either, yeah, WebKit will probably be the, the preference there.
Did I
So
like that?
there
Got
we
it.
go. Yeah, perfect.
Chat's asking if writing mode vertical would would work. Both Thomas and Adrian are asking if the range input is writing mode aware, like if using writing mode vertical right left works on range inputs. It's not something we have to dig in right now, but that's a good question. I'm not sure if you know
Yeah,
that.
that is a good question. I'm not sure if that would work, or how that would orient the range, whether it would go low value top or bottom, I guess, So yeah,
Yeah, not
that'd be
sure.
something.
That's a good question though, chat. Good thinking. Yeah, I have to. Yeah, so it'd be nicer to work with, so you don't have to remap the y to x in the transforms. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. We'll have to look into it. Cool. So is this good?
Yeah, yeah. So we'll break down another line here, and then now we will see. Now we will style the it. So we'll have the WebKit slider runnable track again.
Okay. Uh,
Just
so
the first one without the
grab
thumb.
should I grab the
Yep.
ampersand too?
Yep.
Cool.
And then inside that, we will have a height of 2 pixels. And then we'll have a background of a linear gradient. So Chrome and WebKit don't have a native way to overwrite the sort of progress bar, if you will, to
Okay.
as you do the slider. So this is kind of a hack around that will end
Got
up
it.
tweaking with JavaScript in a little while as
Oh,
well.
cool.
So we'll go to right, because it is
Uh,
a horizontal sliders that
that.
we're flipping,
Okay.
and then we'll run comma current color, and then we will space, and then var parenthesis dash dash range gradient. And then if you
Okay.
scroll up to the root, we have that currently set to
50%.
50%. So that's right halfway through. So that's what we'll be animating as we sort of move up and down this.
Oh, so we'll change this property as we move the range so that
Yep.
it's gonna go.
Yep.
Got
Yep.
it.
So as you move, yeah, the range input up and down, and the draggable knob as well.
Very
So
cool.
right after the range gradient, we'll throw a comma, and then we'll do the hexadecimal color 364 C52. And then we will add var range gradient again. So that'll get us a hard break for
Makes
where
sense.
the one color starts and the other end ends.
And there it is.
And then, yep, there it is.
Cool. But it's gonna be
And
stuck at
then,
50% right now because that's what range
yep,
gradient is,
yep.
no
So it'll
matter what
be,
I drag. Cool.
yep, yeah. So that won't. And then we'll break a new line here, side of that.
Cool. And I
Uh,
think Adrian might be right. He says accent color will help with that as far as he knows. Chromium 93 Plus and Firefox 92 support accent color. So accent
yeah.
color
So
coming in.
yeah, accent color will be great. It will. Yeah, yeah. I think for that, I think you'll still need a few tweaks if you wanted to change the actual runnable tracks color. But
Mm,
it does have the progress value, which will be nice.
awesome.
Let's see. So outside of that bracket, we'll not want to break a new line. So we'll
Cool.
set the similar things up for Mozilla Firefox now. So ampersand colon colon dash MOZ dash range dash track. And then we'll set the height on that to 2 pixels as well. And then we'll just set the background to the hex 364C52.
Oh, so this is all we can get away with this?
So you can do the background as well with the linear gradient, but Mozilla actually has a range progress, which
Oh,
allows
okay.
us to do that without
Got it. So
you can
we're
do
not
that
we're
natively.
not getting less with Mozilla. We're getting less with WebKit. Wait, is WebKit
Yep.
Chrome?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's Safari's again? I always
It's also WebKit, so that'll
okay.
that'll cover Safari as
Got it.
well,
That might be okay.
and Edge is now on the WebKit
Right.
project too. So and then
Cool.
so yeah, we'll do ampersand colon colon dash MOZ dash range dash progress, and that is where we will set our background color to current color, and that'll take care of our yes, slider gradient essentially in Mozilla.
Is it all is it lowercase c for current color?
Uh, Camel case.
Okay, it's weird that the thing recommended lowercase. That's funny.
Yeah,
Uh Will,
it
hey.
does that for certain things, which
Yeah,
is
it's
which is
weird.
funny. All right.
Yeah,
And
and Ben, I
then
agree. It is looking pretty cool. It gets cooler. Trust me. This starts to get really, really flashy. I'm excited.
yeah, so yeah. Then we'll do our thumb. So we'll do ampersand colon colon dash WebKit dash slider dash thumb. And we'll set our width and height of 30 pixels,
Cool.
a border radius of 100%. We'll set our background as var dash dash background. And then I set
Cool.
that up in the root as well.
Right.
So I've got a few colors that we set up there just to sort of simplify
No, that's
things.
great.
And then we'll set our border of 2 pixels.
Is it two?
Yep. Solid var dash dash UI dash blue.
Cool.
And then with this one
Nice.
in WebKit, we need a margin top of negative 14 pixels to center that back up.
Thank you to Silver's Design. Appreciate it. You spotted a, uh, a a typo by me. I'm sorry. You said a transform?
Nope, a margin top of negative 14 pixels. So that'll pull it essentially back
Left. Yeah.
down.
Yeah. So
Yep, left.
what Nino Pepper in the chat was saying earlier of like if you could get away with the other thing and not have to then go margin top to move it left, that would definitely help as you continue to mess with it, right?
Yeah.
Have to
Yeah.
like turn your head to the side to figure out what you're doing. But
Yeah, so often I'll style these horizontally before I flip them, but yeah,
nice.
yeah. And then we'll do the uh, basically copy everything above, but we'll do that inside of the ampersand colon colon dash MOZ dash range dash thumb.
And they couldn't even agree on what the thing was
Yeah,
called.
it's yeah.
It's a
There's
slider. It's a
some.
range.
It
All
is.
right. Cool.
It's funny. And then we don't need the margin top of negative 14 pixels in this one
Ah,
because
okay. It's just going to be centered
yep,
on its own.
yep,
Cool.
because they are centered.
Nice. I appreciate you. I know you said before that you are a Firefox person, but I appreciate handling both. It's not every
Yeah,
day that we have someone kind of um, try to create for all. Oh, I'm getting really sorry. Chat. Let me know if the internet is not going great right now. I'm getting red. Is uh is the internet not doing so hot, chat? Let me know if that continues to be a problem. All right. Yeah, my thing's flashing red, so I just want to keep an eye on that and make sure that okay, cool. Thank you
yeah,
so
it's good.
much. Appreciate it. All right, cool. So yeah,
Okay,
just
so
want to
then
say thanks
we'll
for thinking of Firefox.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, of course.
So what now?
So now we will dive into our JavaScript.
Cool. All right. Nice. And I'm just gonna ask from now on, like, oh, hey, is the internet weird? Because I get to find out that like Tom is here. Tom from Creative Ocean. Great to see you, Tom. Um, so yeah, and lots of other people. It's just nice seeing everyone go, hey, all good. And I'm like, oh, it's great. We got a whole chat. Got a whole bustling chat. Cool. So getting into the JavaScript. I'm excited. But
Excellent.
also
So
thank you for showing us how to style this because that's a really cool effect. And I love that the linear gradient trick that we're gonna do. That's super neat.
yeah, so we'll set that up first here. So we will let's see, let's target our gravity range. So we'll do const
Cool.
gravity equals document dot query selector, and then we've got our class of gravity dash range.
Cool.
And then, so with that, we can, yeah. So we can do gravity dot on input. So that's all lowercase
Oh,
equals handle. We'll create a function called handle range input.
so
No, so we'll just type handle range input there, and then we'll create our
thank you.
function separately.
Cool. That makes more sense. Don't know what I was thinking.
Yep.
Cool.
And then
So
you
make a
don't
function.
need the parentheses on that particular one
Right,
there.
because we're not
So
calling
now,
it there. We're just assigning it
yeah,
to on input.
yeah.
Cool.
So right above that on 6 there, we'll set const handle range input equals arrow function. And inside of that, we will, let's see, and we'll do GSAP.
GSAP.
Yep.
Cool.
Dot set.
Okay.
And then inside of that, we'll target the body. So, yep, cool. Body, and then comma, brackets, the object there, and then we'll do in quotes dash dash range gradient,
Cool.
and then colon, and then we will do gravity value. So
Gravity dot value. Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
gravity dot value. Yep.
Cool.
So for this, I've got the range input set from 0 to 100 to make it really easy. So it's just basically 0 to
Wow.
100%.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd have to do math
Right.
to the gravity value, you know,
No,
minus
that
the
makes
min
a lot of
max, and
sense.
then yeah.
Yeah,
So if you
that
do have a
was
min max, so you can, I mean, I just wanted to keep it simple for this particular demo,
that
but
was very
yeah,
simple. The fact that we're already set up with that effect is wonderful. Yeah, and the 0 to 100 makes a lot of sense. That's cool. Great.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. So, obviously any values would work and any amount of steps would work, but just wanted to keep it really simple for the sake of this demo.
Cool.
Excellent. Now let's get our draggable set up here.
Nice.
So,
So just for the chat, if they don't know what Draggable is.
Draggable is a premium. Well, it's a standard GreenSock plugin that allows drag interactions.
Got it. Yeah, so like
So,
just as a demo, you can like grab and throw stuff around.
yep. So the throw, which is the Inertia plugin, is a premium. So yeah,
Got
we're
it.
going to we'll be creating a rotation draggable, which um, yeah,
Kind of like that
essentially
a little bit.
essentially like that. So
Cool. Question from Thomas in the chat. Is there a reason for why the property is being animated via GSAP instead of making it animatable via an at property / CSS register property?
um, and no particular reason. I know the green sock syntax best, and we're going to be
Yeah.
using that um,
Cool. Yeah.
throughout
No.
this demo. So yeah,
Yeah. No. Thomas is just knowing them. They're just asking like, is there a benefit from one over the other? Not so much saying like, why didn't you do this? Right. Like
yeah, yeah, certainly.
if you happen to know that one, because sometimes it's like, oh well, actually that doesn't work on Safari, right? Like it's
No,
that
I
kind
know
of a thing.
there's yeah, GreenSock is just the easy one for me because I know it.
Cool. Definitely
And
a fair answer. No,
yeah,
no,
so
I don't think it did, Thomas. Just wanted to clarify. Cool.
no, no, it didn't at all.
Cool.
So
All right,
yeah,
nice. So we're going to be
yeah,
using
so
Draggable.
yeah, so we'll start our draggable, capital draggable dot create, and then we as our target will be our dot dial, which is a class name that I added to a part of the SVG.
Got it. So it's in here. It's basically this in here. Oh,
Yep,
look at that. It's already got look at that.
yep. So
It already is draggable, chat. We're
yeah, so
done. Everyone go home.
yeah,
This is exactly what we're going for. That's amazing. Yeah,
yeah,
so it's definitely this object. That's perfect. So it makes it draggable and it even gives you the little hand
yep.
icon. That's perfect.
And then so now we'll open up an object, so comma object there, and
Cool.
then we will do type, and then in quotes rotation,
Nice. And that's
and that'll make it rotate. So because
they're
it is
on a weird
inside of an
axis.
SVG,
Yeah.
we will need to set our transform origin on that. And then we will do that in GreenSock because it does all of the pixel math for us.
Yeah.
So
Setting
just
transform
above,
origin in GreenSock is just generally better than setting it with CSS.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty amazing. So
Yeah.
just above our draggable, we can do GSAP dot set and our dial, and then transform origin inside the object, and then in quotes 50%, 50%.
Now, I would have just typed center. Is there a difference to that?
Um,
I don't know if there's an
I'm
actual.
not sure. That's just habit
Got it.
to do it that way.
Just curious. Cool.
Yeah, and then we're going to
There we go.
just because we have our range input set at 50%, we'll do a rotation of 135 degrees in that same GSAP set.
It said 135.
Yep, 135. So I've got it set to rotate 270 degrees, and 135 is half of that.
Cool. Looks great.
So now we'll go
Nice.
back down to our draggable setup here.
Cool. Thank you for that follow. All right.
And then we
So,
will set our bounds.
yeah.
And then we'll set an object there. And this will give us our max rotation
Oh.
of 270.
Can it just be an integer?
Yep. And then
Cool.
min rotation of 0. That will limit our bounds on both the upper and lower half.
Nice.
So then we'll drop a line out of there. We'll put a comma inside the draggable object still there. Yep.
Cool.
And then we'll set our inertia to true.
And so in inertia is basically the like I can throw it and it keeps going kind of thing. Like
Yep. Yep.
I
So
let go
inertia
of it.
is a premium plugin.
Got it.
So that would be a paid plugin
Yeah.
for GreenSock. But if you
So
didn't want the
without it,
inertia, you can still
right.
do it. You just don't have the nice throw
Yeah.
effect that you can get
Just
with this.
kind of show in chat how like that's without, and then with is just a really nice realistic kind of feeling thing. Can you tweak the inertia values too?
Yeah, you can tweak the friction essentially to
Cool.
where it would come to a stop quicker. You can also tweak the edge bounds to where it'll sort of bounce past, or if you're throwing, an object outside of,
Right.
like if you had just a regular draggable, if
Yep.
you're throwing it outside of the box, it'll slide outside the box and sort of elastic itself back into
Cool.
it.
All right. Nice.
And then, yeah, we will set our low inertia true. We'll have snap.
So low.
Uh,
Wait,
no, so
oh, sorry.
snap. Yep.
Cool.
SNAP, and then we'll set a just type value and then arrow. And then this is essentially we are tying our snap to our range input amount.
Got it.
So
Okay.
essentially, so if you had like 5 things in your range input, in this one we have 100, to make it easy.
Right.
But we'll do math.round. Then parentheses value divided by 1 times 1. So just, value essentially is what we're doing there. So it'll snap to yeah, that. Then so we'll do on
So wait,
drag.
what's this doing? Like I get that we're
Oh, that's good.
returning a
So that's
value.
the value. Actually, we would let's see, to fully tie that to the range, we would want to get that out of 100. So that would be value. Oh, I'm trying to think of be divided by 270. I'd have to think about the math for
It's fine.
to say that
I
there.
just don't
Yeah.
fully the math dot round and then the divided by 1 times 1 bit. I don't.
Yeah, we don't need the divided by 1 times 1 necessarily now. So we can just
Okay.
do math.round value, and that'll take it. We'll just, we're going to be tying them together anyway, so
Okay.
they'll
Should I
work
erase
together.
that
But
bit?
yeah, we can
Okay. Cool.
certainly do that.
Cool.
But essentially, you'd want to get the minimum value and the maximum value of our range input, and then essentially take the value of that and then just map it to the actual range input. So from 0 to 270 would be mapped from 0 to 100 in this instance.
Got it. That makes sense.
So that way it snaps to a very even bound on
Got it. Okay. So
the range. So that
it'll
way
snap to
they
something that is divisible by 270 or
the
100 or whatever. Got it.
yep,
It's like
yep,
fractional for the 100.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So yeah, that was
Okay. Well,
that was overlooked in this setup. So
that's fine. It's all good.
yeah.
And
And then
Adrian in the chat mentions how it's nice that CodePen has access to all of GSAP Premium
it is.
for free.
It's
It's fantastic that
incredible.
people get to learn in this way, and then make some cool stuff. Cool.
Right. So let's see. So now we are going to tie our drag to uh, our input.
So we're gonna link these two.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we will have an on drag callback now. And so let's see. Let's do on drag instead of colon, just put the parentheses there. I don't think it matters in this instance, just how I have
Cool.
it set up. So and then we don't need the arrow. We'll just have that
Right.
open into that. That way we can use this, I believe is the reason we're doing it.
Oh, cool.
So we'll do let's see, gravity.value equals this dot rotation divided by this dot max rotation times 100.
Okay. So it takes whatever we're at, divides it by 270.
Yep.
And it's nice that we
And
do
that
this.
gets
That
us
way,
our,
if this changes, it's we don't have to change that. And then that
yep.
maps it to the 0 to 100 scale. Look at that. So only thing we need to do now is also map the progress bit. Is that
Yeah. So we will we'll do that by calling our handle range input function in this as well.
nice? Okay. And then
So
just
yep, handle range input, and then we do need the parentheses there.
yeah. I think I broke it. Oh, I don't know why I put a quote and then a. There we go.
Extra.
That doesn't help. So it's one way right now, but that works great.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
yeah,
cool.
currently one way there.
Interesting that if you
Yeah.
toss it.
So now we will need a an on throw update,
Got it. That's cool. Okay.
and then we're
Good to know.
basically copying and pasting exactly what we have in our on drag.
Cool. So on throw. That's not how you spell that. On throw. Okay. Then same sort of
It'll
thing.
be on throw update.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then same sort of thing. Awesome. Hey, Prids, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. We're making a super cool Star Trek inspired range slider. We're just getting going. We're getting this going. This is all going to be changing. It's going to get really, really cool. Great to see you. Glad you're here. That's great. And then on throw,
So
yeah, there it is.
yeah.
Goes all the way to the
So
end.
so to tie these together nicely, we're going to need to set a variable right above our handle range input. So let's see, we will set
Up here, right here.
yep, right there. We'll set a let is dragging equals false.
Cool.
And then we will pass is dragging into our parentheses for our handle input.
For handle the range input for this one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll add that there. And then we'll say inside of that handle, right below the set function, we'll have our if statement. If is dragging is not true.
So
So
do it not is
explanation
dragging.
point equals yeah, or that will be just fine as well.
Cool.
And we will have GSAP dot two, our dial class, and then rotate. And then we'll have.
Oh, sorry, I need to put this in bracket. Is
Yeah,
it? It's rotation.
rotate also works.
Oh, it does. Huh.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we can, let's see, we'll just do our backtick. Dollar brackets. And then in parentheses, gravity dot value divided by 100. And then outside of the, we'll close our parenthesis, times 272.
Oh, wait, outside. So,
So we've got
oh,
gravity
we
down.
put gravity divided by 100 inside parentheses.
Yeah,
Got it. Times 270.
just to keep it, yeah, separate. I mean, it
Cool.
doesn't entirely matter, but that'll get us set out of, you know, it'll map our range input to our degrees for the draggable instance, and then we'll put a degree right before the
Cool.
DEG there.
Uh,
And
Thomas in chat says, I love those Star Trek The Next Generation interfaces. They're so iconic. And Ben says, I heard is dragon, and now I need an excuse to use this variable in my own code. Is dragon.
awesome.
Cool.
And yeah, so now we'll want to go back to our draggable instance, and then we'll pass in true to our handle range inputs.
See if I can format this a little bit better. It's getting a little funky. There we go.
Yeah,
So pass in true here.
there and then on the throw update as well, because if you don't handle that, then it'll try to reanimate itself after you drag it. So now that'll be specific to that. So if you
Okay.
yeah, you can now see that
So that's
they should
updating.
both update now. If you yeah, yeah. Oh, why is let's see GSAP 2
Do we?
dot
Yeah, I don't think we're listening for this one, right? Handle range
um,
input. Where's that being called?
that was just below that handle range
Gravity.
input.
Oh yeah, that is.
So let's set instead of not is dragging, let's say is dragging
Uh,
is not equal to
sorry.
the true. So
Is dragging is. Oh.
no,
Okay.
no, hold on. Down in our yeah, instead of that, we will explanation point equals true.
Okay.
Let's see if that does it for
So I think
us.
it's gonna work
There,
here, but I don't.
yeah,
But I
there we
think
go.
once we change it, is it? Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Weird. That was. What?
Yeah.
Chat. Can someone help me understand why that change mattered? I don't understand. We can keep moving. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
ran into that when I was setting it up too, and this way worked, so I was happy.
I guess whatever we were getting back wasn't falsy, but I would think. I don't know. All right. Cool. I'm good with it. But that was strange. Anyway, hey Steph, good to see you. Thanks for coming through. And Tom says his ears keep perking up at throw update. Throw update. Got it.
Yeah,
I need to enunciate better. Cool. This is looking great.
excellent. Let's see.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that those are tied together, we can add some animations, which let's see, we'll set up the gravity meter.
And I just want to say real quick, it is keyboard accessible. I don't know if Draggable is, but it's just nice that the range slider still works kind of as expected.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
it isn't accessible. So I mean, the gravity preference up there is the label to that particular range. So yeah, I
Oh,
tried
cool.
to keep it for that as well.
This chat definitely appreciates that.
Yeah, I don't know if you can add inertia to the input range or not. That would be yeah,
Yeah,
that
that'd
would
be
be
cool.
that's a good question. It's a great question.
Don't push it, Ben. Ben, relax. Ben's got now that I've awoken Ben. He's like, let's do a full semantic checkup of the Ben. Slow down.
Hopefully it is. I mean, we can check the HTML quickly. I believe I've got the label set up correctly.
Let's see.
It isn't inside the
For grav
label.
ID grav. I mean,
Name
Ben's
graph.
quite the
Ben, did I do
Ben
okay?
Ben runs a show called Semantics.
Oh,
So
cool.
all about semantic HTML and accessibility and just solid HTML usage. So
Nice. That's awesome.
yeah. Cool. So also yeah, just shout out to Ben. Cool.
Not inside of form tag. Oh, come on.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Cool. All
All
right,
right.
cool.
So yeah, now we'll set up an animation to get our essentially the outer ring on our gauge working here.
Okay.
So we'll set up a uh, new constant up above our everything.
Cool. So here.
Essentially, yeah, right. We can do it below the gravity
Okay.
selector there. Just kind of keep that one separated. So const, gravometer, whatever you want to call that.
I wonder what chat heard there. The fact they've been hearing so many different things, like gravy meter. That's gravometer. Cool.
Equals gsap.from, and then class grav-o-meter. And then we'll throw a comma, and then in our object we'll have paused true, ease none, draw svg, which is
Is that a capital?
ease will have to no, it'll be camel case, except the vg is also capitalized there. And then none will have to be in quotes for ease.
Right. That
GSAP
makes
did
sense.
change that to be all strings now.
Cool.
And then if you do from 0, you'll kind of see it'll go all the way to the right just because of the way I set up that path. So we'll have to do in quotes 100%, 100%. So that'll actually reverse our draw SVG to there. All right. And then,
So wait, what are we? Oh, we're doing this ring. Got it.
yep, that ring
I
right
I
there.
wasn't sure what part of this we were hitting. So a second ago there was like a full uh colored ring here, and so we just pulled it all the way to the end. Is that what we did?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Well, we pulled it all the way to the beginning, essentially with the 100%, 100%.
Cool. All right.
I set the path up backwards when I
It's fine. I've
made it.
done that
So
most times.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So now we'll go into our handle update or
Handle
handle range input.
range.
Yep.
That cool.
And inside of that, we will do gsap.to gravometer. No, that'll just be the tween that we just set up. So that'll be
Ah.
our what we set as our constant.
Okay.
Gravometer, comma, and then we'll open our object up. And then we'll set our progress. And then we'll do our gravity.value divided by 100 because progress in GreenSock is measured from 0 to 1. And
Right.
because our gravity input range element is from value of 0 to 100, it makes it really, really easy to set that. So
Got it. So let me just try to understand what we just did, right? We set
yeah,
we set a tween, but because it's paused true,
yep.
it's not going to move.
Yeah, so it doesn't play, and then we can tween the progress of that animation where it will just because it's paused, it'll just move the progress along and remain paused.
Right. So if I do false, we should see it go over in 1 second, right? Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
it
then
goes from
if you
0 to
drag
100.
that, so now if you were to drag it, it will update to that progress and then it'll play when you let go. Or it should.
Ah,
Yeah, there
that's
you go.
funny. Okay, cool. Yeah, so with this, we're still using like the mechanics of a tween, but we are kind of scrubbing it with the range slider.
Yeah.
That's really
Yep,
cool.
exactly.
Nice. So, should we set the progress to start with at 50 so that
So it should let's
noticing that when it
see.
starts
Actually,
up,
right under our handle range input, let's just call that function and it should automatically just set everything to how we want it.
cool. That makes sense. And then false here.
No, you don't need a false value for that for some
That
reason.
makes
So
sense. Well, yeah, because we're only checking to see. Yeah,
yeah,
if it's null, that's just not going to run. So there we go. That's perfect.
yeah,
Nice. Chad, it's coming along.
excellent.
Look at this. This is really, really slick already. It's feeling very spacey. Love it.
What do you
Cool.
think? Should we do the colors next or the ball bounce?
Um, let's do
Let's do the
let's,
colors
okay,
next.
cool.
So this will be we can keep this one pretty quick. So we'll essentially do the same thing we did for our, let's see, gravel meter. We'll set up a color setter constant.
So right here.
Yep. And then let's see, we'll do GSAP instead of dot two. We'll do dot timeline because that the gradient on the left-hand side of this is a three color gradient. So it's
Mm-hmm.
red and then yellow and then green. We will, let's see, timeline, and then inside our timeline, we'll create an object. So we'll do paused is true, and then we'll set defaults, plural, and then colon, and then an object. Inside of that, we will have our ease of none as a string.
Cool.
Excellent. And then we'll do a from to, just outside of that, dot from to.
So just down here.
Yep.
Cool. So color setter dot from two.
Yeah, or you can just append it to the
Oh right. I always forget about chaining.
parentheses, so you can, yeah,
Yeah.
you can chain that right up to it, which is
Yeah.
awesome. And then we will animate the body.
Cool. And just
So
for chat, with GSAP timelines, you can chain them just like you would like a promise, and you just keep tacking them on. That way, you don't have to declare color setter, color setter, color setter, or whatever your timeline's called over and over again. So you said body.
yeah,
Cool.
and then we'll put comma, and then open our object up, and then in quotes dash dash current dash UI. And this
Okay.
is also a color variable that I set in the CSS up at the root. So that is essentially I had a default to the center yellow color.
Cool.
So we'll
Ah,
do,
so that's why everything here is yellow.
yep,
Got it.
yep. And then
Okay.
I've got yeah, that's what I set the body's current color to be. So let's
Okay.
see, and then we will do a hexadecimal color as 198D00.
Ooh, great color.
Yep,
Love that
and that'll
color. It's one of
be
my
a
favorites.
string. Yeah, and we'll close that object, and then because it's a from to, we'll open a new one,
Cool.
and then current UI. So yeah, and then we'll change that to FFB 300.
You pick good colors. It's another winner.
Thank you. And then just below that, we will now just do a 2. So we're essentially going from the green to the yellow, and then we're going to go to the red, essentially.
Got it. Got it. Thank you for that
So we'll
follow.
do, yeah, we'll
So
do
body.
2 body, and then current UI C 50,000. 5 and then 4 zeros.
Cool. Nice.
Excellent.
Oh, nice.
And then we'll go into our handle range input one more time here.
Handle range input. Here we go. Cool.
And then this time we'll just do GSAP dot set. It's a little bit different way to handle it. And then we'll have our color setter. And then the same as you have above there, the progress gravity value divided by 100.
Cool. So we're doing the same sort of thing where we are tweening a different animation. This one's a timeline.
Yep.
And so,
Instead of tweening it, we are just setting it so that if you were to do the throw props on uh, the the Draggable dial, sometimes that'll cause a discrepancy between the two. I guess if we had the snap set up properly, we wouldn't. But yeah, now you can see
so cool.
the colors change as you get to a more sort of extreme, yeah,
Gravity and then
extreme gravity. Yep.
such a good effect. And the reason why the yellow's at 50% is because we have the from 2, and the yellow is that 2, and then we have another 2, so it essentially makes a 3-step timeline, right?
Yep, yep,
Cool.
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, and there's there's ways you could run different ways to do that, but that was just
It feels
uh,
great too, just like the inertia and everything.
the, yeah, the quickest way I could think to set that
It's
up. So
fantastic. No, it's great. All right, cool.
yeah, so now yeah, let's get that ball bouncing now on the right hand side there.
Nice.
So just wanted to yeah, create a little effect to where you could kind of visualize what the gravity would sort of be to a human by way of a bouncy ball.
Perfect.
Which is, yeah. All
That's
right,
how I think of
let's
things. Yeah, like if I were to bounce a ball on this planet, how bouncy would that ball be? And so that's what
yeah.
we're gonna give to people.
Yeah, so we'll go in right up where we have our other timelines set up. So yeah, we're gonna do this, very
So
similar to
right
the
here.
other ones. Yeah, we can drop a new one. So we'll call this bounce-o-meter.
I love your names. These are fantastic.
And actually we'll set right above that.
Cool.
We'll set a variable, so let y bounce equals -150.
Okay.
So because of the different gravity effects, we're going to have our bounce be different heights at different gravity levels. So
Okay.
this gets this will get interesting to do. So let's see. We've got our bounce meter equals GSAP timeline. We'll set our let's see repeat refresh in that timeline to true. So that basically calls invalidate on repeat for GreenSock, which essentially lets the anything that's functional recheck. Instead of saving those in GreenSock's memory, it rechecks for like a new Y value.
Interesting.
So, and then we'll set our repeat to -1.
I'll come back and ask you about this once we have like a working thing, just so you can kind of explain what's happening. Because out of context, I'm definitely not going to get it, but I would love to learn more about this. So you said
Yeah,
repeat
so
-1.
yep.
Cool.
And then let's see, just make sure I'm not missing anything. And then we'll do 2.
Oh,
Just outside that, we'll chain it. We'll chain
cool.
our, yeah, so we'll do .2. And then we have that ball is class ball in our HTML.
Cool.
And then we'll open an object up here. So comma object y, and then our y will be a function here. So we'll have our arrow function, and then we're going to return y bounce inside of that. So you could probably just, I think, put y bounce outside of the arrows without the parentheses or without the brackets. Technically, I think you can do it like that.
Should work either way, I think. I don't know. Did I just format it away? Yeah, you are right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we
should be good
go.
either way.
Excellent.
Cool.
So, and then we will do inside of that, we'll do ease power2 dot out.
Like that.
No dot two, so it's just power 2.
Thank you.
Yeah, dot out. Yeah, perfect. And then we'll chain that to another 2,
Cool.
and then dot ball y of 0.
Ah,
So
so
you
we're
can
bringing it
you can
back
see
down.
on the right hand side our animation is now
Got
we got
it.
a bounce.
Got
And
it.
then
Okay.
for that we'll do, let's see, we'll do our ease of power 2 dot in. So essentially what we're doing there is creating an ease out as you slide up, and then an ease in as you go down to sort of create that sort of pause up at the top of what we would essentially get from gravity.
That's awesome. Looks great already.
Excellent. So now inside of our handle, let's see, let's set up another animation here. So we'll kind of do 2 things at once. We're going to set our bounce height, and then we'll also set our bounce speed. So as gravity increases, we'll ramp up the speed as well. So we'll set a new timeline called bounce speed.
Okay, cool.
Actually, that one doesn't need to be a timeline. That can just be a GSAP.from2.
Ah,
And then we'll do bounce-o-meter inside of that. No, that'll be the constant we just set for
good
that
call.
timeline. So we're animating the timeline again. And then we'll do time scale. So that is GreenSock's internal speed checker, essentially.
Is that a
And
camel?
then, yes, camel case.
Cool.
And then 0.1.
Oh, no, I did an object
No,
there.
that'll be colon 0.1. And
Oh, so
then
this
we'll
slows
do,
it down.
yep.
Sorry.
And then we'll do, then we'll open up a new bracket because it's a from to. It's another object there.
Cool, right?
Yep, comma object. And then we'll do time scale 8.
Oh,
That'll
this is
animate
how you're
from the
doing
time scale
it.
of, yep, yep. So from 0 to 8. So now it's moving very fast.
Yeah.
So that essentially animates that. And then we'll do duration of, the duration matters in that actually, but I have duration of 1 on my notes here.
At
And
the or
then
in the second one.
yes, yeah, for bounce speed, we'll
Okay.
have duration of 1, and then I have an ease of circ SIRC dot in. So that essentially weights the high speed to the end of our gravity. So once we do tie that together.
Wow.
All right, so now we will add a paused equals true in there as well.
In the
So
same
that,
one.
yep, in that same one.
Cool. Thank you for that follow. Welcome. Um, cool. So it's
So this, oh yeah, so
paused.
now it's just moving at its slowest point. So
Oh,
now we're
because
inside
we
of our,
started here, but then we paused this tween, so this isn't going. It's staying at timescale 0.1.
yep, that's exactly
Cool.
right.
So
Yeah.
it's moving at 10% basically.
Yep.
Speed.
So now in our handle range,
In our what?
the handle range input function,
Cool.
we will put our bounce speed. So on line 58 with color setter, you can
Yeah.
actually create an array around color setter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Nice. That's
comma
handy.
bounce speed inside of there.
Cool. So it's going to go through and set these properties to both of these
So now we
items.
have our 50%. So if you ramp up the speed, it'll ramp up that. And then if you dial it back, of course, it'll go exceedingly slow.
Really cool, chat. Look at that. Look at that. And Liam's here. Good to see you, Liam. Not sure why he said Jack Russell Terrier. Do you know why he said Jack Russell Terrier?
I have no idea why he said Jack Russell Terrier.
Either way, I'm happy to see
Um,
Liam. Welcome, Liam. Yeah, but this is so cool.
awesome. So now we'll set our Y bounce value. So that's
Cool.
what this repeat refresh will be updating. So inside of
Got
our
it.
handle range input,
Yeah.
right below that that set function, we can type Y bounce equals GSAP dot utils.
Ooh.
So this is one of GreenSock's awesome cheater utility,
Yeah.
dot map range. So in just
Utils dot.
before, yeah, map range camel cased, and then parentheses, we'll do 0 to -100.
like that. 0,
And then, yep,
negative 100.
yeah, and then comma 0 to negative 450. And then our throw a comma there, and then gravity dot value minus 100. So I can explain what
Yeah.
this is essentially doing. So we have our so the first two numbers are our constant. So that is from 0 to negative 100. And that references the value we pass in at the end. So that's our gravity value minus 100. So essentially, if we had a 0 gravity, we would have a negative 100 effect. So we want the ball to bounce higher when there's less gravity. So
Got it.
we go into the negatives there because we have a negative y value for that bounce.
Think
And then we're going to map
I
it.
just want to check this function super quick just to kind of see. I'm not. I don't know what this relative placement between one range. So it's going from the first range to the second range. Cool.
Yep.
I just wanted to
Yeah, exactly.
get that bit. Okay, so we're
Yeah,
mapping
so
it
that's
from
that's
this
our
range.
input. So then we're going to map it from 0 to negative 450. So our
Got it.
lowest value of our ball bounce will be 0, and the highest will be 450 there.
Got it.
And
Oh,
then since
and
we have
yeah.
the invalidate on refresh set to true, it's going to essentially just check that y bounce value every time because we set that up as a returned function.
Oh, got it.
So now as you sort of tweak our slider, it's going to slow the ball down and then it should skyrocket up out of there.
Right. So
If
cool.
you
And then if I
crank the value up,
pull
it'll
this,
basically fall to
yeah,
the earth and
that's so good. Just too heavy to move. That's fantastic. And then here it's just kind of hanging because there's nothing really pulling it down. But then, like, this is a really great simulation of this. This came out so good.
thank you.
It's a lot of fun. Awesome. And excuse me. Liam says he said Jack Russell Terrier because of the like boing 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 boing, like because it was so jumpy. Yeah,
That makes sense. Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. I must go down. My bounce-o-meters need me. So good. Cool. This is
Yeah.
coming out so
So
great.
yeah. So now we will let's tween the number. So
Yeah.
9.8, obviously, if you know your physics, that's meters per second. That is the gravitational force of Earth. So that is if you drop a ball, it will accelerate downward at 9.8 meters per second squared,
Cool.
which is yeah, the gravitational constant
So is
for
that going to be like the 50%?
for
That's like what we're at, and then we're going to want
Yep,
to
yep. So that's our starting
perfect.
point will be Earth, and then yeah, we'll kind
Cool.
of move beyond there. So back up in our zone where we're creating tweens, we can
Up
we'll
here.
set yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll set a constant called G number, and then we'll set our inside of that we'll set an object num num : 9.8.
Cool.
Um, and then right below that, we will set up a const.
Okay.
We'll just keep
So
that outside of the object. So yeah, we're creating an object so that we can animate that particular object.
cool.
So now we'll do GSAP dot from to.
So no. So just GSAP.
We'll set a const. We'll set gravity number.
Cool. Uh, equals nice.
GSAP from to, and then we'll tween our G number object.
Okay.
And then we'll do from num : 0.1, and then we'll have another object to num 19.6. Just yeah,
Cool.
9.8 times 2. And then we'll have ease none inside that second object there, because that is where all of the easing and uh,
Everything gets
pauses
set.
and everything we go. Yeah, that's
Cool.
quotes. It's a string for eased.
I keep doing that.
Yeah,
Cool.
oh, they change it on us. So, um,
Format.
and then we'll do pause to true there
Cool.
as well.
Nice.
So yeah, if we go back into our handle input, you can set your gravity number inside that same uh, array of things we're scaling. So right next to color setter and bounce speed.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's
So
going
it's
to be
just
four
another one that we
there.
can pass in there.
Yep.
It's
Yeah. So yeah,
wow,
it makes
that's
it super
really
nice.
handy. That's great that we can just
Yep.
continue to kind of add our effects into this one set.
Yep.
Um,
So and then let's break it. Inside that. We'll stay inside our function there, and then below all of our uh, everything there, we will add a, let's see, if g number dot num is greater than 10, or sorry, less than 10, then we can open up brackets and we'll have number. Oh, let's see. We need to target our number element. So up at the top of this, we'll document dot. We'll set a constant
up at the
for
top
yeah, just go
here.
up the top there. Yep,
Cool.
constant number L element, whatever we want it to be,
Oh,
equals document dot query selector class number.
cool. And then we're gonna set the. So got that here. Number
Yeah,
L.
number dot inner HTML. And then I've got a backtick $0 g number dot num to fixed.
Sorry.
So right after your dot num, we'll do to fixed because it'll otherwise give us a crazy decimal. And then in parentheses 1, so it'll give us to 1 decimal point essentially.
Cool.
There we go. So yeah, the that one just does adds a 0 in front of it, and then we'll have an else
Nice.
statement, and then we will just right
Cool.
after
Sorry, I was
our
playing.
if, we'll have else. Yeah, no worries.
All right. Copy
Yeah,
this.
and then just copy that and then exclude the 0 in front of it. So
Nice.
once we get to double digits, we will drop the 0 essentially is all that's doing.
Nice. That's great. Really nice effect. And hey, welcome, Slinks. Good to see you. This is great.
Awesome. And then yeah, I've got just a couple more little animations
Yeah, love
that
it.
I decided to add to this. Let's see what we've got. Let's do the font weight.
Cool.
Yeah, so if you check the HTML additions there, if you go to the settings,
I don't have the
uh,
settings
the
because
gear
it's.
up next to the HTML tab, to your left,
Oh,
right
got it. Cool.
there, you can see. I don't know if it's super visible in
Yeah, it's gonna be
that.
tough for chat to see, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So we
Inside
got
that, we've got a variable font from our Google Fonts, which is what that is.
cool.
So the trick here with variable fonts is when you declare your the variation you want. So in this case it's weight. So that WGHT
Right.
400, and then the dot dot will give you the range between there. So that's something
Got it.
that they don't really explain very well anywhere. So it's kind of tough to find if you are trying to get a Google variable font to animate. So
Got
that
it.
dot dot. So we're doing 400 and 900. I hope the chat can at least. Oh, here,
Yeah, I
I'll
think chat
send that to
can
the font.
make that
Here we
out
can
for the most part.
just do essentially no. Well, there. So
Perfect.
yeah, so the dot dot between the 400 and the 900 will load the range up.
Awesome.
Um,
That's really helpful.
let's see what we got. So yeah, we'll set our yeah, we'll set a new timeline or new constant for a tween.
So up here we can do it.
Yeah, and then we can do I've got gravity weight as what I called it. And then equals GSAP dot from to body. Open your object up, dash dash weight, in quotes, yeah. And then colon 400, and that can just be an integer.
Cool.
And then we'll do that to weight dash dash 900.
Hold on one second. I forgot a
Really
comma.
formatted you strangely there.
Yeah, it sure is. It's doing me
There
real
we
dirty.
go.
All right, cool.
And then we will do, so yeah, you can see that how that
Oh,
pictured
so
up
weight's
there.
already tied in. So weight defaults to
Yep,
400.
yeah,
And
weight defaults to
then
400. In our setup on our body, I've got the font weight 400 900 that tells that it'll be somewhere in that range. And then
I don't think I've ever seen this where you can just pass it to.
yeah, and then below, I've got a special class on certain elements there. I believe it's toward the bottom. I think I named it thick. Um,
Units, its color.
so then I set my font weight for that particular. There it is.
Nice.
Var weight.
Wait, got it.
That's
Cool.
what we're animating.
Got it.
So
Okay, so it
yeah.
animated fully to the 900 because this is just a timeline.
Yep, and then we'll
Should
add
we pause it?
a yeah, pause true, ease none again.
Getting the hang of it. Except there we
Yeah.
go. Finally did it.
Yeah, and then we can just add that one again to our general animation there. Our let's see, gravity weight to our array of things that we're tweeting the progress of.
Awesome. Oh, so in this array again.
Yep.
So good. That
So yeah,
trick
it
is just
saves a
paying
lot of different
dividends.
timelines.
So
So
it
yeah,
goes
we go
thin
super
and then it goes
skinny
thick.
to
Look at that, chat. Like all
thicker.
these little
So
details just add so much, right? Like the bouncing ball, the inertia of the range slider. Like this is so nice. The fact that even like this changes color from green to red as you. This is just so many details you packed in here, Ryan. This is so cool.
so got one more for you here. We'll do, let's see, go up to our HTML.
Cool.
I'm gonna add, let's see, let's see, just before, I don't think it matters as long as it's inside of the wrapper. Yep.
Cool.
We'll do div class ring and then ring
Nice.
dash dash zero as the next class, and then we'll do that from we'll add 5 of those essentially. So
Cool.
we'll just copy paste 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got one too many. So yeah, so just delete that last one there.
Cool. All right.
And then we're
Nice.
gonna go into our CSS, and then we'll
That was called
find
ring, right? Yeah, ring.
yep. We'll create a class for ring.
This. Trying to think
Yep.
what
Uh,
that was. Just something else, right? We're
yeah,
not.
that was
Yeah,
just
we're not nesting
a
everything.
range.
Cool. So this
Just
is
at the
ring.
very end we can do
Cool.
that. We'll do position absolute, top of 17 pixels.
Yep. Don't know what I'm doing.
You get used to writing the GreenSock syntax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's probably
makes
what it
yeah.
was.
And then we'll do left of 215 pixels. So I'm just using sort of non-responsive rounded out values, but certainly you can make these responsive if
Yeah.
if that's your thing. But for this particular demo,
You already went
Yeah,
above and beyond with the Firefox and the Chrome. It's fine that we're not
and yeah, and
checking every
make it
box
accessible as
possible.
well. All
Yeah.
right. So we'll do transform, translate, -50%, -50% to essentially center those back up from where we absolutely positioned those. No quotes there.
Cool. Thanks. Just yeah, going between GreenSock and CSS
Oh,
always.
it's mind bending sometimes.
Yeah.
And then we'll do border, 1 pixel, solid var dash dash UI blue.
Cool.
All right. And then inside of that, since we are using Sass, we can do ampersand dash dash zero,
Emerson dash dash
the
zero.
number zero.
Oh,
No,
oh,
no,
right, 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 right.
numeral
Sorry, I
zero to target our
right. Target that
ring
first
dash
one.
dash zero. And then
Yeah.
inside that, we'll do a height and width of 50 pixels. And let's see, we'll do opacity of 0.7. Oh, and I missed inside of our ring, we'll add a border radius of 100% and a pointer events none.
I almost went back to put quotes on the none. Cool. So we got that. Should I start copying off these?
Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we will do 60, 70, and 80, 90
You said
for
0, 1, 2,
the
3, 4, 5. We're just going up to 4, or are
no,
we
we're
up to
just
5?
going to 4. There's 5
Cool.
total, so
Got it. Okay.
using the JavaScript index.
Sounds good. And you said what for the second one?
Just 10 pixels as you go up to each of the heights and widths.
So we're going down 10 pixels or up 10 pixels?
Up 10 pixels. So it'll go 50, 60,
Cool.
70, 80, and 90.
Oh, that's not how you do that. Very cool.
And then our opacity will go down by 0.1 each time. So
Okay.
6, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. It looks like we're missing something in our ring because those should be
Centered.
concentric. Yeah.
Top and left.
Left. Is our transform correct?
No, we don't have a transform margin. Should that be?
No, that should
No?
be okay because it should default to center.
Is this one of those where you? Yeah. Do we need a comma in here for translate?
Yes.
There it is. Cool.
There it is.
There it is.
Perfect.
That looks good.
Excellent. So now that we have those set up, we can go right back into our JavaScript and into our handle range input function.
Handle range input. Sorry, I'm missing chat. Sorry, I was trying to make sure I'm not missing anything big. Yeah, that's a 1. Twitch fixture reply threat UI. Meanwhile, I want to reply to myself here. Yeah, and I agree, Thomas. This is super cool. And you have very niche humor. I love it. And Slink says we should open up a GSAP thread in Discord. Yeah, I'm down to get animation to be a thing that we chat about more in the Discord for sure. I think we even have an animation channel that we archive. So happy to open it up again. Cool. Handle range input.
Yep. So inside of that, we will do gsap.to.
Towards the end.
So we're actually going to run our animation inside of this time.
GSAP 2.
And then our .ring class.
Ring. Cool. So that just takes care of that's going to pass all of those in as an array to GSAP, right?
Yep.
Cool. All right. And
I don't
then
know what happened to our transform origin on our
yeah, something.
Dial there. Oh, there. It's
I think it was just breaking.
Yeah,
cool.
We just confused it. So
cool.
let's see .ring, and then we will do y.
Y.
And then we'll do our map range again. So we'll do gsap.utils.mapRange. And then we'll do from 100 to 0.
Cool.
and then comma 0 to 567, which is
Pixels.
like the yep.
Got it.
So I and yeah, basically the height of everything. So you can kind of see how
Right.
that went down like that. And then um let's see,
Gravity dot
and then
value.
gravity dot value. Yep.
Ooh. Is that
There
it?
we go. Essentially, and then we
Nice.
will add a stagger to this,
Nice. Love a good stagger.
and then we'll do amount 0.333. So,
That's an object and then amount.
yep. So that's basically it'll stagger over that duration, and you have this really kind of
Even spacier than before, Chad. Look at this. Such a cool effect. And like as the inertia drags it, it gets dragged along. Ah, it's so cool. Like just these little touches add so much to make it so much more fun to play with. It's fantastic. This is it's just a blast, right? This is so cool. You added so many like great details and used GreenSock in just such a fun way. This is a blast. Thank you so
thank
much
you.
for building this with us. I
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
this was good fun.
Do you have like a finished version that you've already made? Do you want to make that one public and we can drop it in chat?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. And Ben, I think you nailed it. He says, "God, I need a theremin and some crunchy synth music to go with this." Yeah, so it feels like the theremin thing. That's such a spot on observation. So good. And like the bounce simulation is just such a great touch. Like the rest of it would be great by itself, but that bounce simulation like drives home that gravity concept. It's so good. Really appreciate it. Yeah. So you are
Well,
just
we
publishing that and dropping that in chat.
yeah.
Let me go over to Duo Camera and see if I can um, find where it is, or if you just want to drop
Let's see.
it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the Twitch chat, that works too.
Yeah, I can just put that in the Twitch chat. I'm
Go
just
for it.
gonna port it over to the the Seagulls account here quick.
Oh,
So
cool, cool. No worries. Yeah,
yeah,
this really was great. What an awesome beginning to what I think is going to be a really fantastic month of here. I'm back
yeah,
here
I'm
of
super excited about the space theme as well.
yeah, it's going to be great. View all upcoming shows. So you're on right now. Next week we have Astro, but that's going to be for Front End Stampede. But the other component carousel episodes are Alithia building space shaders next week. Alithia makes some fantastic shaders. Love all of her work. And then Luis Bizarro is going to be beyond. So we've got three fantastic creative developers that are going to make a really fun site, I think, with all three of these components together. It's just so cool. So yeah, really appreciate it. I want to real quick plug Elegant Seagulls one more time. Y'all are a fantastic creative agency. You make some really cool stuff. I've been watching it for a bit, and especially because the last one happened to use Prismic. Do you use Prismic with a lot of your projects, or was that just like kind of like you kind of hop around? You can answer
Uh,
completely honestly. You don't have to say, "Oh
yeah,
yeah, it's always Prismic."
no, we hop around a little bit. Depends on obviously client needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do quite like Prismic. We also do use Contentful,
Yeah,
and a couple others as well. But yeah, the that Anderson Brothers site that we referenced at the beginning of
yeah,
the
it's
chat
just
here,
so
that one
cool.
there, that is using Prismic as their CMS, and of course, all these values and everything on that is
Oh, so they can
in
change
Prismic. So
the.
yeah, they're able to change their numbers, their timelines. It's
That's
all
great. So instead of like hard coding the stuff in here of like how much like
yeah, and that's
what's the
also
limit to the gravity or whatever, they can change their budget max and min whenever
yeah.
they want.
Yeah, yeah, and that's
Ah, it's
built on
handy.
Next. So, or
Cool.
yeah, Yeah, so that'll yeah,
Nice.
that hooks in really nicely to that as well. So all of the animations in there are sort of hooked into that. So
Yeah, this is just a really great site. Came up great. Oh, my GitHub. Yeah, I don't have that as a thing spin lock. That's a good idea though. But also this one is coming up soon. I think Ryan just porting it over to the Elegant Seagulls account is what you said.
yep. Yeah, so I'm moving it from my
Cool.
personal to the Alien
The
Seagulls.
one that we publish like on the actual page can be like if you just want to drop it in chat now, as the one from you, but I'll like the one we like put out officially later on could be from the Elegant Seagulls account if
Yeah,
that makes
I
sense.
think I got it here.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
take a quick look. So
I just know people. I can sense that the chat's like I just want to play with those little dials. I just let me click it.
yeah, here,
And the
let
cool
me
thing
just
about
make sure this
Draggable is
is
that
working.
it works on like touch screens too, right? So like people on
Yeah,
iPads can actually do it with their fingers. I don't know why I keep doing this at people. I'm just doing the Dikembe Mutombo at my entire chat.
yeah.
Sorry, chat.
So we'll do settings. There we
Um,
go. And I will drop this in chat
cool.
right
Yeah. B1 Mind
now.
just wants to play with it. Oh, or just okay. I see what you're doing, Brent.
There we go.
Nice. There we go. Cool. So, it's so nice. Bounce simulation, everything about it came out great. So yeah, thank you again so much. And yeah, the finger metronome. Yeah, super cool. Yeah, right. Anything else you want to kind of plug or talk about or anything before we head out? Chat any questions. If you don't ask them now, you can always ask them in the Discord. Um, but yeah, just
Yeah,
happy.
happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, I get it, Nino. I get it. Yeah, no, but thank you so much. Tomorrow we don't have a guest, but remember on Tuesday we're learning Astro from one of the core members. Chat. We've got Nate Moore coming in, and I think by then they're gonna have their new WASM-based compiler ready to go. So Astro, if you don't know, it is basically allows you to build a static site with React, and then it just kind of it renders your code down so that you don't need to hydrate over. You don't have to ship JavaScript to the front end, but you can still build your site in React. So it's kind of like if you're using Gatsby, but then Gatsby never rehydrated over, never sent a big JavaScript bundle unless you need it. You get to opt in. So definitely
yeah,
check this
yeah.
out. I
So
haven't used it yet. I'm sorry.
I haven't used it either. I was looking at it before we hopped on this. Looks super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you can choose which components
Yep.
have the React bits.
And
So
that makes
that's
sense because
pretty
not
neat. Or it's
every
also framework agnostic. I believe you can use Svelte and Vue as well with it.
I think you are correct. Yeah, I didn't want to I didn't want to promise the moon. I knew it was React because I've promised the moon before and been like, yeah, you could use all this stuff, and they're like, actually, so I
Yeah.
wasn't sure, but yes, I believe you are right. Yeah, very excited to learn this. So definitely be here for Tuesday, and follow if you aren't following already. And thank you again, chat and Ryan. We will see you soon. Hang in there because we are going to go find someone raid. There's always someone good to raid. Let's go find them. Thanks. Take care.
Awesome.